If you're over 60, every bite you take, every daily habit, and every vegetable you think is healthy could actually be affecting your heart in ways you'd never expect. I know this might sound strange, because all our lives we've been taught that eating vegetables is the right thing to do. But what if I told you that some of the most common vegetables on your plate could be quietly weakening your heart, little by little? How would you feel? I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this because I've seen it firsthand. For years working in the field of cardiology, I've met so many seniors who walk into my clinic looking confident and proud saying, "Doctor, I eat very healthy. Lots of greens, no fried food, no sugar. I avoid fat." And yet they had no idea that some vegetables, when eaten the wrong way or combined poorly with medications, can silently push their heart closer to failure every single day. Some raise blood pressure, others cancel out the effects of critical heart medications. Some even carry bacteria that an aging immune system simply can't fight off anymore. And the scariest part? It all happens silently. No symptoms, no warning signs. Not until the heart grows weak, not until fatigue becomes constant or worse, not until a sudden collapse do we stop and ask, what went wrong? That's why in this video, I urgently want to share with you 5 vegetables that I strongly recommend seniors either stop eating altogether or prepare differently if you want to truly protect your heart. I'll walk you through each one, why it's dangerous, what exactly it does to your body, and what healthier, heart-friendly options you can use instead. Here's the good news. These dangers are preventable. If you understand them, if you recognize the signs, if you make just the right changes, you can help your heart beat stronger day by day. So please stay with me, because the very first vegetable I'm about to reveal might already be sitting in your fridge right now. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss out on powerful health tips made especially for older adults like us. If today's topic feels helpful to you, type 1 in the comments below. If not, or if you have suggestions, feel free to leave a 0. I always appreciate honest feedback. But I want to ask you something personal. Have you ever thought that eating vegetables the wrong way could actually harm your heart? Share a short sentence about what you're thinking right now, and I promise I'll read every single comment with care. 1. Raw bean sprouts. A food that looks innocent but can quietly harm the aging heart. They appear small, fresh, crisp, and full of life. Raw bean sprouts, like mung bean sprouts, pea shoots, or alfalfa sprouts, have long been celebrated as a superfood in the world of clean eating. They're often seen as symbols of freshness, purity, and raw energy. For many health-conscious seniors, tossing a handful of raw sprouts into a salad, sandwich, or green juice seems like the perfect choice. Easy on the stomach, cooling for the liver, detoxifying, and good for digestion. But the truth is, it's that very image of being harmless that makes them so dangerous. Most people don't realize that sprouts grow in warm, moist conditions, the exact environment where harmful bacteria thrive. Names like E. coli, Salmonella, or Listeria might sound unfamiliar, but these bacteria can cling to every tiny strand of a sprout. And once they enter the body, especially in older adults, they can cause serious, even life-threatening complications. In younger people with strong immune systems, contaminated sprouts might only lead to a mild stomachache. But after 60, everything changes. The immune system weakens, reactions slow down, and vital organs no longer process threats as efficiently. What starts as a minor stomach upset from eating raw sprouts can quickly turn into sepsis, dehydration, intestinal infections, or worse, endocarditis, a dangerous infection of the inner lining of the heart. Think that sounds unlikely? I once treated a 74-year-old man, someone who had never smoked, never drank, and had followed a strict vegetarian lifestyle. He truly believed that eating raw sprouts every day would cleanse his blood and cool the liver, so he stuck to that habit for over 2 years. Until one day, he came into the hospital feeling fatigued, with a racing heart, shortness of breath, and a mild fever that no one could explain. Blood tests revealed a bacterial infection in the heart, traced back to raw food. The culprit? Those innocent-looking sprouts. See, at this age, our bodies can no longer fight off risks the way they used to. The heart, already working harder as the years go by, is now forced to battle invisible enemies. Bacteria, infections, inflammation. Threats that should have been completely preventable, and the heart can't recover if the body is quietly fighting an internal war brought on by what you eat. Worse yet, these dangers don't show up immediately. You might feel fine after eating a plate of sprout salad today. You might be okay after a few sandwiches with raw greens. But then one day your body crashes and you're left wondering what went wrong. You thought you were eating clean, fresh, healthy, but the truth is, your heart has been paying the price all along. I'm not saying you should completely eliminate bean sprouts from your life, but I strongly urge every older adult, do not eat them raw. Cook them. Light stir-frying, steaming, or even just a quick blanch in hot water is enough to kill most bacteria, while still preserving the crunch and nutrients. And if you have a weakened immune system, if you've taken immunosuppressant medications, or if you have a history of heart conditions, this is not just a suggestion, it's a must. Because in the end, food is meant to help you live well, not to gamble with your health. Don't let one tiny vegetable, no matter how pure it may sound, be the reason you face emergency hospital visits, irregular heartbeat, or acute heart failure. Your body today is not the same as it was 20 years ago. What once was good for you may now be dangerous if consumed the wrong way. And what matters most is not just what you eat, but how you eat it, when you eat it, and whether your body can still handle it. Raw bean sprouts may look harmless, but they can quietly sabotage your heart. And if something that small can do that, just imagine how many other so-called superfoods could be hurting your heart day by day, if eaten the wrong way, at the wrong time, or combined with the wrong medication. The next vegetable I'm about to reveal might still be sitting right there in your kitchen tonight. 2. Red chili peppers. A fiery spice that could quietly make your heart tremble. For many older adults, a meal isn't just about filling the stomach. Every dish, every spice carries memories. The flavor of childhood, of home, of mother's cooking, of simpler times long past. And among all those flavors, there's one that feels almost essential to many: the bold, burning heat of red chili. Just a slice of fresh chili, a spoonful of chili powder, or a few drops of fish sauce with crushed chili is often enough to light up an entire meal with warmth and flavor. For many seniors, chili is more than just food. It's a habit, a small joy, a little spark of heat in a life that's grown quieter over time. But did you know that very heat might be a silent, ticking bomb in your chest? Red chilies, especially the spicier varieties or concentrated forms like dried chili or chili powder, can trigger a series of intense reactions inside the body. Immediately after eating spicy food, your body releases adrenaline, the hormone that gives you a temporary high, a surge of energy. But it also causes your heart rate to spike, your blood pressure to rise, and your blood vessels to constrict. When you're young, your body can handle these sudden changes easily, but after 60, everything shifts. Blood vessels stiffen, arterial walls lose elasticity, and the cardiovascular system becomes hypersensitive to even the smallest jolts, including that one innocent bite of chili. I once treated a 72-year-old woman, a lady who lived with great discipline. She didn't smoke, ate carefully, and practiced Tai Chi every morning. But there was one thing she couldn't give up: chili with every meal. "If it's not spicy, I can't eat," she'd say. One evening, after a dinner with spicy lemongrass chicken, she began feeling tightness in her chest, palpitations, dizziness, and then she collapsed. Hospital tests later confirmed acute high blood pressure and arrhythmia, and no one expected the trigger would be chili. The real problem isn't the spice itself, but the way the body responds to it, as a kind of biological stress. Spicy food overstimulates the nervous system, forcing the heart to beat faster and blood vessels to tighten, as if bracing for danger. If you already have heart disease, high blood pressure, or are on daily hypertension medication, that chili could be like striking a match near a barrel of gunpowder. Even worse, chronic consumption of spicy food can cause low-grade inflammation in the endothelium, the thin inner lining of your blood vessels. Over time, this inflammation damages the arteries, promotes plaque buildup, disrupts blood flow, and raises the risk of heart failure, stroke, or heart attack. So the question is, does this mean you must give up all the flavors you love? Number, you don't have to live a tasteless life to be healthy. You just need to learn how to season your food more gently, with your heart in mind. Instead of harsh red chilies, try roasted ginger, turmeric, coriander, cooked garlic, kaffir lime leaves, lemon juice, or even a dash of ground black pepper. Spices that still bring your food to life, but without exhausting your heart. Let your taste buds support your health, not cost you a trip to the ER. Sometimes the things we crave aren't what our bodies truly need. Older adults often feel lonely, and spicy food can act as an emotional kick to fill that void. But remember, instant pleasure is never worth sacrificing long-term wellness. Listen to your body. Listen to your heart. If you notice that after every spicy meal you feel jittery, tight in the chest, or your heartbeat turns irregular, that's not random. That's your heart pleading for change. Because your heart, after millions of tireless beats that have kept you alive to this very moment, deserves kindness, not stimulation. And if one small chili pepper, hot, red, and tempting, can silently wear down your heart, then just imagine what other vegetables or foods you believe to be healthy might be doing the same harm in ways you've never noticed. The next one on this list might be something you've been eating every morning without a second thought. 3. Raw garlic. When nature's medicine quietly turns against your heart. For many older adults, garlic isn't just a spice, it's a belief, a natural remedy passed down through generations, hailed as a symbol of strength, health, and vitality. We've all heard that garlic can lower cholesterol, thin the blood, reduce blood pressure, and boost immunity. And yes, in many cases, that's partly true. Which is why it's no surprise that many seniors in their 60s or 70s have developed the habit of eating raw garlic daily like a ritual, even swallowing whole cloves as if they were pills for protection. But what most people don't realize is, power when misused can quietly become poison. Raw garlic, though small, is a powerful natural blood thinner. That might sound beneficial, especially for those at risk of blood clots. But if you're taking anticoagulant medications like aspirin or warfarin, garlic can dangerously amplify their effects. The result? Your blood may become too thin, thin enough to trigger internal bleeding without you even realizing it. I once treated a 67-year-old man who was extremely cautious about his diet. He was vegetarian, avoided fatty foods, and didn't drink alcohol. But every morning, he would swallow 2 raw garlic cloves with water, like a sacred morning ritual. After a few months, he began experiencing frequent nosebleeds, unexplained bruising, fatigue, and eventually had to be hospitalized due to dangerously low blood pressure from internal bleeding. He said, "I thought I was doing the right thing. I just wanted to stay healthy." And the most heartbreaking part was, he didn't do anything wrong. He simply didn't know that raw garlic and heart medications don't mix. And it doesn't stop there. Raw garlic in large amounts can also cause a sudden drop in blood pressure. If you're already taking blood pressure medication and continue to eat raw garlic every day, you could experience dizziness, exhaustion, even fainting. All signs that your brain isn't getting enough blood. When blood pressure drops too low, your heart doesn't receive the volume it needs to pump properly. That leads to poor circulation, prolonged fatigue, and over time, can severely impact an aging heart's ability to function. The sad irony? You're trying to eat healthy. You avoid junk food, don't eat salty meals, you stay away from alcohol. You're following traditional wisdom, eating garlic to support your heart and blood. But your body today is not the body you had 30 years ago. The way you react to food, to medicine, everything has changed. And if you don't understand that, even the healthy things you eat can become silent threats. After 60, the line between healing and harming can be just a small difference in dosage or timing, and raw garlic, no matter how much praise it gets, is no exception. The solution isn't to cut garlic out completely. Garlic still holds value, but it must be used wisely. Prioritize cooked garlic. Cooking reduces its blood-thinning effect. Never mix raw garlic with blood thinners without consulting your doctor. Don't overdo it. Small doses may help, but too much can harm. At this age, health can't be based on assumptions. It must be based on understanding. Don't let old habits, no matter how well-intentioned, damage your body just because you don't fully grasp what's happening inside. Always remember, food can be medicine, but it can also be poison, depending on how it's used. Garlic, even nature's so-called miracle, must be handled with knowledge and care. And if a small clove of garlic can make your blood dangerously thin or send your heart into distress from a sudden drop in pressure, then ask yourself, how many other vegetables you eat every day in good faith might actually be silently affecting your heart? The answer might shock you, and the next vegetable could be sitting on your salad plate right now. 4. Spinach. When a superfood quietly interferes with your heart medication. Spinach has long been praised as one of the top superfoods in the world. It shows up in healthy meal plans, green juice recipes, detox salads, anti-cancer diets, and has become almost a symbol of clean, vibrant living. But for those over 60, especially anyone taking heart medication, this so-called miracle vegetable might be quietly betraying your trust. As a cardiologist, I've seen many older patients walk into my office, truly believing they're doing everything right. Eating clean, drinking green, avoiding fried food, cutting sugar and salt. They're so careful they start every day with a glass of spinach juice and end it with a fresh salad, convinced they're protecting their heart. What they don't know is that spinach may actually be reducing the effectiveness of the very medication that's meant to keep them alive. You see, spinach is extremely high in vitamin K, a nutrient that helps blood clot. That sounds like a good thing until you realize that most older adults with heart issues are on blood thinners, like aspirin or warfarin, medications that prevent blood clots from causing strokes or heart attacks. When your body absorbs too much vitamin K, those medications stop working properly, which means you're still taking your pills faithfully, but your blood isn't thinning the way it should. You think you're protected, but you're quietly losing the only armor you have against stroke. I once treated a 70-year-old woman who had recently recovered from a minor stroke. She followed her new diet strictly, but every morning she drank spinach juice without ever telling her doctor. 3 months later, she returned with fatigue, headaches, and suffered a much more severe stroke. Tests revealed that her warfarin levels had dropped. The medication was no longer working, blocked by the high buildup of vitamin K from her daily spinach habit. The problem isn't spinach itself, it's the lack of consistency and, more importantly, the lack of knowledge. Vitamin K isn't the villain, but if you consume too much, don't inform your doctor, or make sudden changes to your diet, your body can't keep up, and your heart, already dependent on that delicate balance, is left vulnerable. What breaks my heart is this. Older adults often act out of pure intention. They hear from a friend or read somewhere that spinach is a superfood, so they trust it. They're not doing anything wrong, and yet they still suffer the consequences. Not because they made bad choices, but because they didn't realize that not every healthy food is safe for everyone, at every age, in every health condition. After 60, food is no longer just about nutrition. Every item on your plate is either a partner or an enemy to your medication. And sometimes what helps one person quietly harms another. So how do you enjoy spinach without putting your heart at risk? First, eat it in moderation and stay consistent. Don't binge 1 week and stop the next. Second, always tell your doctor if you change your diet, especially if you're adding vitamin K-rich vegetables like kale, spinach, or broccoli. Third, if possible, cook your spinach. Cooking lowers the amount of vitamin K that actually gets absorbed into your bloodstream. Remember, a healthy diet is not just about what you eat, but how you eat it and under what health conditions. And spinach, no matter how beneficial it may seem, can quietly become a danger to your heart if you don't fully understand your body. Look at your evening salad or tomorrow morning's juice and ask yourself, are you helping your medicine work? Or are you quietly dismantling the only defense your heart has left? And if spinach, the poster child of the green lifestyle, can silently block life-saving medication, then how many other vegetables might be lurking in your daily meals, seemingly harmless, but quietly building up as hidden threats in your bloodstream? The next vegetable I'm about to share might be sitting right in your fridge this very moment. 5. Celery. When the miracle vegetable quietly pushes your blood pressure and heart into danger. Celery, that crisp, green, refreshing vegetable, has been praised as a heart-healthy savior for years. In wellness circles, it often tops the list of golden foods thanks to its anti-inflammatory properties, its reputation for lowering cholesterol, detoxifying the body, even supporting weight loss. Many older adults trust in celery juice as a sacred morning ritual, believing they're doing something powerful for their heart. But here's a truth almost no one talks about. Celery, when used the wrong way, can become a silent trap, quietly tightening your blood vessels and wearing down your heart day after day. You might be surprised to learn that celery contains a relatively high amount of natural sodium compared to other vegetables. Just one fresh stalk can contain 30 to 50 milligrams of sodium. If you juice 5 to 6 stalks every morning, plus the salt you're already getting from other foods throughout the day, you could easily surpass the recommended sodium limit for seniors, which is only about 1,500 milligrams per day. The real problem? Most older adults don't realize how much sodium they're getting from healthy foods. I once saw a 69-year-old man who walked every day, ate vegetarian 5 days a week, and had completely cut out alcohol. Yet his blood pressure was still erratic, even though he was taking his medication faithfully. When we reviewed his diet log, I discovered he had been drinking 2 full glasses of pure celery juice every morning, nothing else added. He thought he was helping his heart, but in reality, he was quietly loading his kidneys and heart with excess sodium. And here's what most people overlook. Salt doesn't just come from the salt shaker. It hides in celery, canned tomatoes, instant soups, soy sauce, ketchup, and dozens of foods we think are safe. After age 60, the kidneys can't flush out sodium the way they used to. Sodium builds up in your bloodstream, pulls in water, expands blood volume, raises blood pressure, causes swelling in the hands and feet, and increases the pressure on your heart, day in and day out. The scariest part is, you don't feel a thing. No dizziness, no headaches. Until one day you're diagnosed with chronic high blood pressure, or worse, enlarged heart, heart failure, or a sudden stroke. I've heard many people say, but I don't add salt to my food, and I get it. You believe you're eating clean, green, and safe. But the truth is, it's not the salt you sprinkle on your plate, it's the natural sodium you don't even realize you're consuming. So should you avoid celery entirely? Celery still has its benefits, if used in moderation and with a clear understanding of your own health. If you are on blood pressure medication, have a history of heart disease, stroke, or hypertension, or are following a low-sodium diet, then drinking celery juice every day, eating large amounts of raw celery, or combining it with other salty foods could quietly push your blood pressure to dangerous levels without you noticing. So what's the solution? Limit how much celery you consume. Instead of drinking a full, concentrated glass, dilute it. Mix in apple, cucumber, or other low-sodium greens. Track your total daily sodium, including from foods that don't taste salty. Don't drink celery juice every day. Space it out, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and always consult your doctor if you're on heart medication. In the end, celery isn't the enemy. The real threat is not knowing how much hidden sodium your body is being forced to handle. You don't need to give up celery, but you do need to control it, because your heart's survival doesn't depend on eating the right foods. It depends on understanding portion, balance, and how each choice fits your aging body. And if something as familiar as celery can quietly raise your blood pressure and weaken your heart, then just imagine what other vegetables, the ones you eat every day without a second thought, might be pushing your numbers even higher than table salt. The next one I'm about to reveal might already be sitting on your plate and you'd never suspect a thing. 6th, so after everything What should older adults eat to truly protect their heart? After hearing about all the so-called healthy vegetables that could quietly harm your heart, you might be wondering, so what should I eat? What foods will actually make my heart stronger, help me live longer, and stop these silent attacks from happening every day? And the answer isn't found in extreme diets or overpriced superfoods shipped from halfway across the world. It's already in your kitchen. Simple, familiar vegetables that, when prepared properly and eaten consistently, can gently support your heart, helping it heal and grow stronger day by day. After 60, your heart doesn't need dramatic changes. It doesn't need miracles. It needs stability. It needs kindness. It needs care. And there are certain vegetables that have been proven to work with heart medication, not against it. They help reduce inflammation, regulate blood pressure, improve circulation, and protect the blood vessels, instead of interfering with your treatments like the dangerous foods we discussed earlier. Start with the basics. Steamed broccoli, rich in sulforaphane, a plant compound that fights inflammation and improves blood vessel function. Lightly roasted carrots, full of beta-carotene, which helps prevent artery hardening and regulate blood sugar. Sautéed kale, packed with fiber, vitamin C, and powerful antioxidants. Sweet potatoes, loaded with potassium, fiber, and vitamin A to balance blood pressure and reduce water retention. Cooked tomatoes, enhance absorption of lycopene, a natural heart protective compound. Lentils and green beans, excellent plant-based protein and soluble fiber to help control cholesterol. These foods are easy to digest, gentle on the aging stomach, and, most importantly, they don't interfere with medications. They don't trigger silent reactions or risky side effects. I've seen countless patients, seniors who once struggled with fatigue, shortness of breath, and wildly fluctuating blood pressure, begin to recover simply by making small, steady changes to their meals. You don't need a complex diet. You don't need to turn your life upside down. A plate of steamed vegetables, a bowl of lentil soup, a softly roasted sweet potato. These small, loving choices, repeated daily, are what truly begin to reverse the hidden damage done to your heart. And if you worry that healthy eating means bland food, think again. You can absolutely enjoy rich flavors while still being gentle with your heart. Ginger, turmeric, fresh herbs, cooked garlic, and lemon juice. These can bring out incredible flavor without salt or spicy stimulants. A dash of rosemary, a pinch of turmeric, a slice of fresh lemon. Not only delicious, but each one supports cardiovascular health in real, tangible ways. Let every meal be more than just fuel. Let it be an act of love toward your heart. After 60, you don't need miracles. You need consistency. You need wisdom. And you need love for your body, shown in the foods you choose, the way you cook, and the moments you sit down to eat with respect. And once you've chosen the right foods, in the right way, in the right amount, remember this: there's still one last factor that could quietly undo all your effort. One tiny habit, repeated daily, that many people still hold on to, not realizing it's weakening their heart, one beat at a time. Getting older doesn't mean giving up. Your heart, after billions of silent beats, can still grow strong again if you simply start treating it with love and the right choices, starting today. Through this video, I hope you've realized something important. Not every vegetable is good for your heart. Eating green doesn't always mean eating safe. After 60, what you need most isn't a strict diet. It's understanding your body, staying consistent, and living gently with the heart that has carried you through a lifetime. So take a fresh look at your fridge. Take a moment with your plate and ask yourself, are you truly nourishing your heart, or are you unknowingly wearing it down? If you found this video helpful, don't hesitate to click like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment that says, I choose vegetables that heal my heart, not harm it, to help spread this powerful message of living wisely, living fully, and living long. And if you're ready to truly take care of your heart, then there's one more thing you cannot ignore. It's the reason so many older adults never make it past 82. And it has nothing to do with food. It's about emotions. It's about physical connection. It's about meaning in life. Watch the next video. This is why many elderly people will not live past 82. If you are old, you need to see this now. A powerful message from real seniors who've walked through the lonely path of losing connection with their own bodies. This video will help you see aging not just through the lens of health, but through the heart, full of warmth, understanding, and freedom.